Wood property. Can you give me the dates on our calendar when that property was most active? Yes. How we gonna do it? Work backwards? Yeah. In the what we would call the century of the 1800s, 1600s. Were you mostly dissolving by 1700? No, 17. Up until about 1750. You want to turn on your memory?
I'm recording.
Okay, 1750. Chief says was when they pretty much dissolved. There were too many white settlers. Yes. And of course there were many wars at that time. Indians and with white settlers, and so you were using that land that I call Gossamer Wood up until about 1750. Yes.
And when did it start?
Yeah, going backwards from that, for how long a time was your tribe using it? More than 200 years? Yes, more than 300 years? No. 250, about 250 years. So if you go back from 1750,
That would be 1500.
So it's about 1500 to about 1750. Okay, thank you. And was it used most of the time as what we would call a hospital or healing center? Yes. Chief, what were your dates of being alive? Was that starting back in the 17, in the 16, and the 1500s? So you were one of the early ones to identify that property. Yes. Okay. And how long did you live? Did you live for more than 50 years? Yes. 60? Did you die in the your late 50s? Yeah. 6, 7, 8, 9. So he died when he was 59 years old. Like what we call natural death, sickness, disease, accident, shot by a white settler. Yes. Was that like a war with, there were so many wars around then. Was it local where you had the, like with the Canandaigua natives used the Squaw Island? Okay. And I forget, was that with French, English? Okay, that was English settlers. And they sent the women to the Squaw Island and children in Canandaigua Lake for their protection. And then the men were fighting with the white, was it an army? Yeah. I guess at that time, what I've heard at that time, quite a few of the Indian men were killed in that, yes, as well as quite a few of the white army. Yeah. Okay. And that was the time period when the Canandaigua area was active, and where the present museum and summer programs are. Yes. Most of your food supply came from that area in Victor. Yes. Okay, so your farming was quite well established by the end of your life. Yes. Where did your people come from prior to the 1500s? Were there any Indians in that area at all? Did you come from the west? Yes. So you'd come, let's say, from Ohio? Yes. Were you expanding westward originally from California? Or north of there into Canada? Are the stories we get true about the land bridge connecting what we would call the Far East, like from China and the islands and such?
It's Russia to Alaska.
To Alaska. You come by canoe there? Yes. Okay, so your ancestors came down through Alaska and Canada, and we would now call Washington State and Oregon area, yes. And so they just kept, is it true they kept expanding eastward, just looking for more land for themselves? And eventually, as I recall, you were from the Seneca tribe, yes? And you chose to settle in the Canandaigua area, Victor area. So you would have gotten to the Victor and what's now Rochester area first, and then expanded out into Canandaigua, yes. And that was your so-called chosen spot, yes, okay. Were many of your people settling on the lake shore in Canandaigua? Yes. I'm assuming hunting was quite good as a food source, yes, as well as fishing in Canandaigua. Okay.
Plane with a banner.
He's saying there's so much more he would like to tell me. So we better get busy and get this website going again. This would be the only written record. Is that true? Has any historian tried to write up what went on for those 250 years? I get no.
You could ask when was the history of Gossamer lost?
I'm not sure how to answer that question. There never was any history. Was there any written history before?
No, not written. Oral. The folklore, oral history. When was it
Oh,
lost?
the oral history.
Yeah.
Are there any? Hang on. Chris.
Date of lost oral folklore.
With each generation of natives, obviously there's less and less. You don't spend as much time sitting around a campfire and memorizing your history, like back in the 1700s or 1500s. Is there anybody living today that has an oral history of stories from the Senecas? No, that's all gone. Is anybody even trying to teach any of your oral history currently anywhere in New York City? No. Are there very many shamans like my friend Richard that can tune in psychically to your history? Is he the only one around? Yes. I probably want to contact him again. And I'm getting yes, that would be good to do. Because he can still tune in to memories. Was he in the same tribe at the same time that I was back then? Yeah. What were my dates on the Gossamer Wood property? Was it in the 1500s? In late 1500s.
You could ask if you lived at the same time as Chief.
50s, 90s, right about 1600. I was born about 1590 something. Okay. So I was in the 1500s, and how long did I live? More than 50 years, no, more than 40, more than 30. So I died in my 36, when I was 38. Was that from disease? Was that from wild animal attack? Okay.
Oh my God. It's a horrible way to die.
So I wasn't fast enough with my arrow. He's laughing. Yes. And was it like a wild bear? Were there They're
Buffalo, coyote.
like lions or buffalo. Buffalo was there's a lot of buffalo there. Did I get trampled by a buffalo? Oh, okay. Did I get in the way of a stampede? Yes. Okay. That's why I really panicked when at ARE camp there was a herd of cows that got loose through a hole in the fence in
Yeah.
the camp, and they were all walking, and people were herding them back toward the break in the fence, and somehow they surrounded Barbara, and she managed to stand up on a stone or something, and I was so worried that one of them was going to knock her over and trample her, and
Yeah.
I was on the outside and couldn't get to it. So apparently I have this memory of being trampled by buffalo,
Yeah.
which was did I reincarnate again any time while the Senecas were in that area? No. Okay. So my work at learning to be a shaman was cut off short. And that's why I'm not as good a healer as I should have been. Probably that incarnation was planned that I was apprenticing to a shaman. And Chief, had you trained that shaman? Yeah. So that shaman had lived a long time. And he was passing that material on to me. And I died before I got enough of it. So that's
So
why
you overlapped with Chief.
Uh,
He was alive at the same time as you?
no, I thought there was a break in there. What did I say? No, I'm losing my short-term memory here. What did I just say about my dates and his dates?
You died when you were 30. You were born in 1600. He lived in the 1500s until age 59. But we don't know when he did. Find out what year he died.
Okay, I thought we did that. When did you die? Was it in the 1600s? Closer to 1610, 20, 30, 40, 50. Yeah. So you lived in
Wow, so that's why you're so close to him.
the
It's
first 50 years, or whatever your life
Yeah.
frame was, 57 or something, was in the 1500s. But I wasn't born until late 1500s. Okay, I just missed it. Did I ever meet you? No, he had died just before
okay.
I was born.
So you were training from someone he trained.
I was a child learning under his trainee. Yes. Okay, good. Thank you. Should we pursue this further at this time? Or wait until I have a pencil in my hand? And actually, we can record like you're doing now. And then I can write that up, and that can be a whole separate section in the new website. Yes. Okay.
You can put this video on that website.
And enjoy the ocean waves here on the East Coast at Christmas 2024. Okay, thanks, Fred.